Greetings and welcome to RP MMO Radio. This will be our 7th episode on this unfortunate, extremely, very stormy night where we are. So if we suddenly disappear on the live stream, I apologize in advance. Unfortunately, my weather device to control it is yet functional. So we just do what we do. But we'll have a good episode tonight for you. Hopefully we're going to be doing Were-Vampires and how to play them, how to roleplay as specialty characters. We just use Were-Vampires as a sort of catch-all because doing one or the other is basically all the same. And as you heard, with me as always is Jazz.
Howdy, howdy.
And my waifu for lifeu, Sib.
Hello.
If we sound tired and get a little crazy, it's our daughter's prom night. We have been cooking food and doing hair and makeup, and there's been relatives and lots of people in our house because their friends' parents were here, friends of friends, nieces, all that stuff. It's been crazy, but they're gonna have a lot of fun. And we're still here even with that for you because that's just the kind of crazy commitment we have to you weirdos. I don't know what's wrong with any of you. So let's go ahead and kick this thing off with our usual way, which is what have we been playing and role-playing on and any stories we might have. And I'm going to kick this one off too this time because I usually let the girls go. But my favorite thing so far is I'm at an old guild playing ESO from over 3 years ago, the Servants of the Temple. And it's crazy that after 3 years that they are still going actually stronger now than they were back then, which does not happen in a lot of roleplay guilds, as Jazz definitely knows, having one of the really long ones herself. And the other thing, too, was also in ESO, and Jazz and Sib both know the same person, and it's actually kind of correlates more with Sib, because she's the one that first actually came across him as someone we used to know in Star Wars The Old Republic. Briefly,
which is bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, we've how long was it since we've all talked to him? Probably, it's got to be like
years at least.
Yeah, 2 years, give or take. And yeah, him and Sim have been hitting it off, and I mean, not not that kind of hitting off, but like chatting as normal adults do, because not everything has to be around sex.
We've been catching up.
Yeah,
basically.
but catching up. But it's which is ironic too because she's always complaining that I can't find anybody that just wants to like talk to a woman without, you know, putting like a finger in another two fingers like it's a hole. Yeah. So it's been good.
It's a serious problem. Yeah.
It is a serious problem. At first everyone complained that there were no women on the internet, and now I constantly wonder, why are there women on the internet? They're better than this. They deserve better. But no, that's pretty much what all I had. I actually joined that guild. They're very active. I actually created a character to kind of do it. They're very they're very temple centric, religious centric for the 3, which is in Elder Scrolls. With Vivek and, I don't know, the other 2 losers that nobody cares about. Vivek's the cool one, even though he's genderless and split down the middle. Like a really, kind of like a mascot for an NFL team, now that I think about it. But they're a lot of fun. They've been very enjoyable. It's just neat to catch up with people you hadn't, like anything, met in years. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been doing. What about one of you ladies?
Jess, you want to go first or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay.
We have a consensus, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that here live. 2 women actually agreed, and one let the other go ahead. And there's no animosity towards either.
No, I, like Ashton said, I've been just RPing and ESO, leveling, just basically hanging out. I haven't had a lot of in-game time because of real life stuff, but like you said,
she made a prom dress like from scratch. She's idiotically talented.
Idiotic is the keyword. But no, I did meet that old friend, and I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know how he'd feel about it, but it was cool to actually sit up.
He was Darth in Star Wars, at least. I think we can say that he was Darth
Yeah, and he's
male
ignored.
goth. Yeah.
So,
And
but to just
he
come
likes the
across
big
him, it
guys.
was kind of neat. I mean, because the name had stuck with. I'm really good with names. My job.
Yeah.
But no, it just kind of stuck with me, and I kept thinking, I know him from somewhere. And we had actually RP'd in the the withered tree in ESO, and I was like, I feel like I know you, and just next thing you know, yeah. So that's about it. I RP'd a little last night in the tavern, just kind of hung out and watched RP and met a couple people. So not much going on.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, and it's crazy to meet someone. So how about you, Jazz? What have you been? I know at least you had something last night for sure, but I know you do more than like one night in every 2 weeks.
We've been working on our werewolf RP. So what we did last night, we had a big werewolf clan meeting, sort of a thing. Pick a name and RP with each other. Hopefully more will eventually join us. So that was kind of fun. I'm very new to the werewolf side of things, but I played a weird demon thing for 10 years, so it's not unusual for me to play weird creatures. Also, I've been dealing with a lot of real life stuff. Mm-hmm. So,
and for insurance purposes, we're not allowed to speak about that.
What?
Your real life? Yeah, well, I mean, it's not that I mentioned that maybe you should burn your house down, but I'm just saying for insurance purposes, where I've never said such a thing, nor I think the words you used were shut up, you idiot, shut up. Yeah, so we have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I have house issues, and I'm trying to deal with finances and jobs, and I work 2 jobs, and I'm tired a lot, so...
adulting sucks for those that aren't aware. That's really why we do this.
Adulting really sucks.
I log in at night and I roleplay in Riften, in ESO, at the Wither Tree.
God, I hate the name of that town, by the way, just because every time I hear it, I think of Rift. I hear Rift, which is an entirely different game. Just my own mental block. It's like, we're going to be in Riften. I don't want to play that game anymore.
It's actually the Rift.
Yeah, it's exactly. Even worse. The town is Riften, but the place is called the Rift. It's like,
the first time I heard it, I thought they were talking about the game.
Right.
Who did I?
Oh my God. So, okay, who wore it better, Riften or the Rift? Just speak amongst yourselves. Personally, I think Riften wore it better because the Rift got boring.
Anyway, dealing with life and then dealing in roleplay and relaxing a bit has been fun, and we had a little bit of guild drama a couple weeks ago, and I'm still kind of getting over that. So it's just been
fun.
Yeah, one of those things that just makes you very, very tired sometimes while you deal with it, but worth it.
I just gotta say, you are a way better woman than I am, Jess.
Me too.
I would just be like, drop the mic and walk away.
It's tempting, but I've been doing this a long time, and so when it gets like that, you just have to kind of roll with it. And I took a day. I didn't even log in for like a day and a half. I just did other things and calmed down and
did something relaxing, like work on a website.
Yes. I went and I got my I have a, I don't want to say it here.
Plug it. You're a friend and you're on the show. Just do it. It's a cheap plug. All the people, the millions of people listening right now, it's just free advertising. We'll cut. I'll tell you what. We'll cut the $20,000 advertisement fee off for you because I guess you're part of the show. So go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Fair enough. Anyway,
pitch.
I have a business called Deep Roots Inc. And I'm hoping to have like an artist colony, artist guild in my general local area. So I worked on the webpage and I got everything kind of set up for all of that during my get over the drama break for 2 days. I was very proud of myself because I've been putting it off.
Yep.
And also fixed the 2 sites that we have for our guild and for Shadows and Dreams. And got it a little smoother to run and fixed a couple of boo-boos that I had been putting off dealing with. Like one of the things that I do and I enjoy doing is making tags and things.
And forums. She loves making forums and subforums. She's excellent at it. Nobody makes a subforum like Jazz.
I'm great at forums, but I'm also really good at making like banners and tags and SIGs and stuff, and I really enjoy it. It's one of those things that I do. That's why when I went to college and I took my degree in design, I almost went into graphic design, but I decided if I did that, I'd end up hating the one thing that I absolutely love to do. So I didn't do it.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. Yeah, and those for you who are listening for the first time, if you haven't noticed, Jazz is a sadist. Yeah, she actually works on websites as a way to relax.
Masochist? I think it would be more masochist.
I'm going to say sadist because that is the tool of the devil.
I see. Because you're like Wolf and a couple of others that hate web pages. Yes. Well.
Yeah, but
I like visiting them.
I
just hate making them.
To do work. I mean, I like something you enjoy. I mean, writing. Yeah. It's real relaxing.
Yes. Like hitting yourself in the nuts with a tack hammer. It just feels good after a while. I mean, you just go numb on the inside and you move on from there.
Can we move on now? I think.
Well, now we're moving on. Sure. Well, I guess if you want to. Apparently, that's all it takes. Tack hammer to the balls. But all right, so that's pretty much what we've been doing here. Haven't been doing a whole lot else other than ESO's pretty much been our go-to MMOs for last month or so. Thanks to the two ladies. Thanks a lot for dragging my ass into that.
You're welcome.
You know you're enjoying
I will say, though, the benchmark for Final Fantasy XIV's next expansion was pretty cool and looked pretty damn good on my computer. It looked pretty sweet, but I figured it would run real well. So I got a good computer, which is why we can do the show. You're welcome. So let's move on to news. We'll forgive Sib because she's been doing mom stuff, and mom stuff always trumps silly podcast stuff and silly roleplay stuff. Because let's be honest, it's just for fun, and real life always comes first. Blah blah blah. Oh, I want to spend time with my family. My daughter only graduates and does the prom once. Whatever. Got a show to do here. Act professional. But anyway, so we usually do a news story, something MMO related or RP related, and I, of course, picked one that is near and dear to my heart and is really cool. It's actually an entire new sort of MMO. It's called an MMOARG, MMO massively multiplayer online augmented reality game, which is basically what the new Disney World Orlando's Star Wars Land is going to be. Both parks are getting their own Star Wars sort of redo and getting their own Star Wars land. But the way they're structuring them is that it's going to be on an entirely new planet. This whole area, you know, if you've never been to a Disneyland or a Disney World, the park is broken up into different sections. You know, there's Tomorrowland, which was the future section, and then there's the Main Street, which is old school America, where a lot of the older rides were, and then they've got Adventureland and Frontierland and all this. So the Star Wars one is obviously going to be based on Star Trek. Or Star Wars, whatever.
Star Trek.
I just like pissing off people like myself. So it's going to be a whole brand new world, and what it's supposed to be like is basically that when you go in there, just like an MMO, you almost can choose a faction. You might actually get to be a smuggler or work for the Resistance, because it'll be in the Force Awakens era, the new trilogy timeline, or you can join the what's the other ones, the First Order, and you can basically they almost give you little quests. Like, so if you do that, that's pretty much what your faction will be for your trip that time. And that's what it is. You'll get to fly the Millennium Falcon, and supposedly it's not like Star Tours. With anybody that went to Star Tours, it was an awesome ride, fantastic. It made you really feel like you were in a ship. But this one, apparently, you'll get to control the Millennium Falcon and actually fly it. And what supposedly how this is supposed to work is what one person does in the Falcon will transfer over to the next people that jump into that same cockpit, and they'll basically continue the story from there. So it's just a really cool sort of real world MMO thing. It's and you're gonna be it's a role play in its own way. It's just real life. That's what Disney's always been about. and I'm not always the biggest fan of Disney, but they are really, really, there's one thing those Imagineers are good at, those parks. It is always, testing and changing the limits of what is known and what's, what you can do in a park like that. I just think it's super cool. I can't wait I want to go back, but we're going to have to, obviously we have to wait till this crap is done, which I don't think is until 2019, probably late at that. So, it'll only be on like the 18th movie by then, but still. I'm just super excited to see that. I think it's a really cool mixing of immersion and that interactive, like those escape rooms that people are so excited about, which I would still love to do one of those. We have one here in Tulsa where we're at, and haven't never actually gotten around to it because it's one of those things where you're local. Oh yeah, we can do that anytime, and then by the time you get around to it, oh, they closed. So
also we're lazy.
Yeah, and we're lazy. Yeah,
once we get
we're
home
too
from work,
busy role playing and stupid MMOs.
We want to play games.
Let's see. We want to sit in our butt all night for the next 4 hours, or go outside with friends. My butt's good. Yeah, I'm good with my butt. So all right. So Jazz, you've got 2 stories lined up. Why don't you knock them down, hon?
Okay, well, the first one that I looked at, both of them are from massivelyoP.com. The first one was, what's the most fun you ever had in an MMO tavern? And while most of the responses to this little blip were horrible, some of them, most of them were kind of funny. And it gives you an idea of what people think of as RP and what people enjoyed as RP or at the time. And a lot of people have talked about like SWG and Lotros. So you see a lot of the older games where RP was the focus, because most games don't. They look down their noses at RP and they don't support it. And so there's not
Pantheon.
as much of it. Yeah, like Pantheon, which just irritates the crap out of me. But anyway, how to take a great game that I was looking forward to and completely change my mind. Congratulations.
And how to do that in a single interview.
Yes. How to
we
do
think
that
role players are silly
interview.
and should be burned at the stake. Anyway, here's other stuff.
Yeah. It's like, right. Okay. So that was fun for me to read because some of the best RP I've ever had has been in taverns, in games. But of course, I've had a lot of fun in real taverns in real life. So I think it's you either like it or you don't. But some of the best RP I've ever had started in taverns.
Mm-hmm. So that's always a good meeting place. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a place to meet, bump into other RPers. It's central. People will show up, and it's a lot of fun.
Ding dong. Who is it? Beer man. Wow. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I read it between the lines. I get you. It's all about that ERP.
How can you take everything we say and turn it
dirty? Well,
sheer talent.
It is a God-given gift. It's a cross I unfortunately just have to learn to bear. It's just my lot in life.
Now you can stop.
I should also mention too, my story was also from Massively OP from I actually think I saw that the day after it came out, like on the Monday after our last show, and I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing 2 weeks from now. Click save. So yes, give them a shout out to Massively OP. So what's your other one, Jess?
Yeah.
So the other one that I looked at was sadly about my former favorite game ever, and it's sad and slow drain down into
womp.
the doldrums of the dump. EverQuest 2 delays the menagerie and grants 3 times experience all weekend.
Wow. I actually just read your title on that. I've purposely, just to be surprised about what you're going to report on. That is insane. 3 times experience event. I don't think I've ever heard of something like that before.
300%. I can't even imagine.
Wow, that's crazy.
All my remaining characters would be 100 at the end of that.
So what is the menagerie their next expansion?
I'm assuming so, but since I've been out of the loop.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had one.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrible. It was such a disaster. I can't believe they're having another one already. But
quick, patch it.
This is like a game that I loved, and I had every single expansion since 2005.
It was your first MMO, wasn't it?
Yes.
That's what.
Yes.
See, you got beer goggles on. That first MMO
Yeah.
beer goggle. See, and mine was EverQuest 1, so 2 was not that far behind for me. Is the same way as Star Wars Galaxies.
And I absolutely love this game, and it just broke my heart that the devs slowly just destroyed it with purpose. It's just, and I'm reading this.
Tentful. You know what it is?
Yeah.
It's those damn Russians, Columbus Nova. That's what it is. It's Russia. It's a Russia. It is literally a Russian-owned company. It is.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Did you not know that? Yeah.
No.
The subsidiary, the owner of Daybreak Games, is a company from Russia called oh my jeez! I just said it like 5 seconds ago, and now I gone smart. Jenny. Columbus Nova, and they're Russian-owned. Yeah. So it is.
I'm okay now.
It's the damn Ruskies. That's what it is.
Oh,
it is
that
communist.
explains everything.
Communism is on the rise in EverQuest 2.
Well, then no wonder there were so many Russian people. I wondered.
Oh, why all the
There were Russian people
Yeah.
playing it, and they would go off sometimes, and because they have the Cyrillics like on their keyboard, and they would type it out, and I'd be like, I remember when I was just running around.
That's not
the
real
world,
language. Why is your K backwards?
and I stopped and I backed up so that I could hear it, read it, and I was like, that's because I learned Russian in college, and I was like, that's Russian. What? Wow. Okay, and I just kept going. But that's funny because I had never seen a Russian before. Just before I left, the Russian language in EQ. But anyway,
in Soviet Russia, EverQuest plays you. But apparently, it's too. Was it Sapmaster Flash in our chat? He said that's normal cash shop level XP bonus too at the 300 times. But that's have to. But that's the thing. You have to pay for that, and that's one thing. I know you can reach. Like with the scrolls and stuff, we know you could actually reach that, but to just have that given to you, and then on top of that, I guarantee you, because you could always we did this when they would do 2 times experience, then you use an experience scroll on top of that, so at 3 times, and then 3 times on top of that, it's just.
Well, that's why I said
crazy.
I would have gotten every character I had to 100.
Yeah.
On that in a very short order. It's easy to do if you know where to go and you know where to grind.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Wow.
I played the game so long, I knew exactly where to go. So it was, to me, reading this is like, this is the death of the game, slowly.
Yeah.
Surely. It's just sad. I'm to the point. I'm gonna delete this game off my hard drive, and it just was like, I expected to feel bad about it, and I'm just like, no, I'm really kind of done.
You're where I was after when I canceled my subscription. It killed me, but it just had to happen. But I've gone into that plenty enough. It's if you want to know more, please listen to past episodes of RPMMO Radio at rpmmoradio.com.
Yeah, so we're told. But anyway, it popped out at me when I was reading it, and I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I will have to look and see what the menagerie is, but
Yeah,
it
I
sounds
have
like
no
that's
idea.
probably a whole crap. We really screwed up and we're losing a lot of subs. Quick, do something.
Yeah, because the thing that the XP that they had previous, which I don't even remember the name of it, was that bad. I was gonna get it, and then I started hearing all the bitching coming in about it, and I was like, you know what? Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm
and
just not
it was
gonna go there.
it's a great place to roleplay, like a lot of MMOs are, and it's unfortunate so
housing
many
thing
developers is the best since
Yeah,
Star Wars
there's
Galaxies.
nothing like it on the market. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Although ESO's trying, and I give them credit for trying.
They're in the it's the same. EverQuest 2, when it first came out too, the housing, it wasn't that great. It just got that way over time because they get more items. Like they have some nice. I've seen people build structures out of the the wide wooden planks in ESO, but they're kind of garbage looking. So when they start doing those things, but it looks like a fine marble or a stone, they'll be slowly inching that way because it does give you a lot of personal control.
It's amazing, and I'm really pleased with the housing in ESO. EQ was unrivaled, and now of course they have 2 devs and 1 hamster, so it's not like
actually sorry, but they laid the hamster off.
Oh, that
budget
explains
cuts.
a lot, doesn't it?
They couldn't afford to feed him anymore.
Yeah,
he was actually eating literal reams of paper to survive. Most of those were actually, funny enough, those were the documents on what they were going to do in the future.
Ah, yeah. That makes sense. And then he probably used the rest of it in his cage.
Yeah, well, it was already being shit on, so they didn't think anyone would notice.
Those experience scrolls, what were they called? The transcension scrolls or whatever?
I think there was the transgender scrolls.
Stop.
One of them was a man, and then the other day it was not. It was very confusing.
Hit him. Hit him. You're right there. You have to hit him. I think it's a rule.
I can't reach him.
She's got short, stubby arms like a T-Rex.
Throw something at it, man. God.
I can roll over him.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So you got it. That's
it for me.
Heartbreaking. But actually, hold on one sec. We actually have breaking news here. We interrupt this broadcast with breaking news. This is Dink Winkleton coming to you live from Elder Scrolls Online, where famed gladiator and MVP Orangus Julius is being pursued by the Imperial Guard after bodies of 2 individuals were found dead in his villa. They are in a slow-speed chase at the moment going down the main road from Cyrodiil. He's currently in a chariot being pulled by what looks to be a white Bronco. Yes, it is definitely a white Bronco. Sources close to the scene say he fled on foot before making it to his mighty steed. Reports indicate his last words before fleeing were, "I didn't do it, but if I did, look for my new book in a few years, and I'll tell you how I would have done it if I had." More news as it develops, and back to our regularly scheduled programming. Huh, wow, hope they get the guy. It's a good thing he's innocent.
You're so
what? That wasn't me. That was Dink Winkleton. That's our live on air reporter from ESO.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you should see his.
Stop.
We were gonna have other people.
Hey,
we ran out of time to write because of everything else. So, who's up for a main topic, ladies? Anyone?
Sure.
Let's go and see how horribly we can try to get me beaten. Encouraging spousal abuse live on radio.
I was looking for the soft foam dice to throw at him. I can't find.
I think it's in the other room, actually. Yeah. If Ike Turner here over here is done, we can move on. So, werewolves, vampires.
I love you.
Come on, baby, take me back, baby. Come on, please, baby, please, baby.
See what I started?
Werewolves, vampires, and other specialty creatures. So that's what we're